Well, a big welcome to everybody. It's good to see so many of you here today. Probably most of you will be wondering what meditation is all about. There are many types of meditation. You're fortunate in the Selangor. We have many teachers, comes and go. Many types of meditation around. Of course, there are those types of meditation that are very interesting. People pay a lot of money to learn, like levitation, like seeing the first prize lottery. People will pay a lot of money to learn that, if it is true. But the fact that it can really be done if you practice certain types of meditation, yes, they have certain powers. And they are known as samatha meditation or concentration meditation. Even then, the Buddha taught 40 types of concentration meditation. Perhaps later on, we might go into some of them to distinguish the difference between concentration meditation and what you'll be learning here, that is the mindfulness meditation. What then is the main difference between these two types of meditation? The main difference is the concentration meditation, they get into absorption. Absorption means that the mind has a meditation object and concentrate on that meditation object, and very soon the mind and object become one. And that is called absorption. When the mind and object become one, then the mind becomes extremely peaceful. So it is called, also known as tranquility meditation or calmness meditation. Very peaceful, very calm, very joyful, very happy, and it can stay there for a long time. You stay there one whole day without food, just enjoying the bliss of calmness, or even 2 days without food, enjoying all those feelings of happiness, calmness. But how is it so? It is so because the hindrances of the mind are suppressed. What are these hindrances? All those anger, frustration, all those disturbing things that we come across every day, all those sadness, conflicts, fear, doubts, all these are hindrances of the mind that prevent the concentration, that develop peace. Now this type of concentration, because the mind is developed so strong, one-pointedness, that it can gain psychic powers. As you know, could even see past life, see a lot of things, unseen beings, and so forth. Now these are the meditation that most people like to go for, because if we get them, we are somebody. People admire us, people treat us very nicely, then we are somebody. Now these are the very attractive type of meditation that you see a lot of people who like to practice and pay a lot of money to practice. It has a lot of peace, quietness, happiness, because it's made the five factors of this concentration is the initial application, sustain. When the mind is sustained, a lot of joy and happiness arises. That's where it gains the concentration. Now, in this concentration, there is these 5 factors that is fully developed. And of course, the joy and the various types of happiness that becomes very strong and intense as the mind gains concentration. But that is only samadhi. The Buddha says there's only the sila samadhi, moralities and concentration samadhi. It has to go to the next level, the higher level, and that is the wisdom, the mindfulness. Because this level train the mind to be very strong and concentrated. And that's all. I'm very happy in meditation, but when the meditator is not meditating, he's no longer happy. And when he is attached to that calmness, he gets very strong agitation if he's disturbed. So such type of meditators, sometimes you see them very peaceful, and sometimes they become very fierce, like a demon. So you don't irritate them because they are highly dangerous. It's like an explosion. 1 minute they smile, very peaceful, very calm. Next minute they take parang and chase you. It is just a symptom of attachment to that calmness. And such type of meditators, as they go deeper and deeper, they like to be alone, they lock themselves in the room, they go to the caves, they go to the forests, they go to lonely places, because they are attached to the calmness. They do not want to have distraction. They do not want to work and mix with people who are difficult and cause their mind a lot of disturbances. And so that becomes a manifestation of those who goes strictly towards the concentration meditation. So it has its positive and it has its byproduct. When one is attached to the calmness, easily agitated. Now this meditation, I will be going directly into the text, into what the Buddha really teach. Because there are a lot of teachers who claim that this is what the Buddha taught, but it is not so. They have not taught the mindfulness meditation. So a lot of people become very confused. They thought that this is what the Buddha teaches, but it is not. So in order to go directly to what the Buddha taught, we go to the scriptures, the old scriptures that are thousands of years ago. And these are the scriptures that are presented by the Arahants, those who are fully enlightened. And this particular discourse is presented by Reverend Ananda, or the Arahant Ananda. So, thus have I heard. So in the sutras, normally it will begin with thus have I heard from the Buddha himself. So Arahant Ananda says that the Blessed One was with the Kuru's people at the market town. And the Kuru's people are very knowledgeable. They are very smart type of people. So the Buddha taught in quite a long detail on this meditation, on mindfulness. Then the Blessed One addressed the monks. Now monks are those who meditate. They are called monks, those who practice the way of freedom, the way of wisdom. They are known as monks. So the monk says, "Most Venerable Sir, respectfully respond to the Buddha." Then the Blessed One spoke. "Monks, this is the only way to the purification of beings, for the overcoming of sorrow and lamentation, for the eradication of bodily pain and grief, for the gaining of the right path, for the realization of Nibbana, namely the fourfold establishment of mindfulness." Now there is these 7 benefits exclaimed by the Buddha in this practice of mindfulness meditation. So, for the purifications of beings, what is meant by purification of beings? In other words, our mind is a mixture of wholesome and unwholesome mind. Sometimes we are very wholesome. Sometimes we have a lot of kindness, a lot of generosity. Sometimes we help people a lot. Those who are poor, they borrow from us, we just lend it to them. Sometimes we are not. Sometimes we are very cynical. Sometimes we have a lot of anger, frustration. Sometimes we have a lot of ill will, sadness, sorrow, lamentation, jealousy. We have a lot of all those defilements as well in the mind that creates a lot of unhappiness for ourselves. So these are the defilements. And mindfulness is able, which the Buddha say, purifications of beings. As we meditate, we purify our mind. That is the first benefit that you get. As our mind becomes more and more pure, we become more and more peaceful, contented, and happy. It is these defilements that agitates our mind, cause a lot of confusion, a lot of sadness. One person against another out of jealousy. Sometimes brothers against sisters, brothers against brother, and sometimes even children against parents. Fighting among each other, our loved ones, because of the defilements, because of greed, because of hatred, dissatisfaction that causes the whole mass of suffering. For overcoming of sorrow and lamentation. Now, what is this sorrow and lamentation? What is this sorrow? And so, the Dhamma book says that with intense worry and alarm, when loss of loved ones or relative occurs through robbery, epidemics, fire, flood, storm, accident or calamity, that is sorrow. When we lose someone we love, our loved one pass away, then there's a lot of sorrow. Or we lose our money, we go and gamble in shares and the share goes down and we lost. In the papers, there's this man who gambles in the football and he lost thousands of money and the alum coming after him, so he killed himself. Sorrow because he could not stand the harassment from those who lent him the money. When destruction or loss of property theft, fire, disaster, right now. When you lost something that is precious, somebody stole your money, stole your car, stole your jewelry, then that is sorrow. What is lamentation? Lamentation is crying, wailing, screaming due to intense mental pain through the loss of loved ones or our property. Again, what is sorrow? Sorrow is one who loses someone who is so dear and precious. Perhaps husband, wife, children, parents, brothers or sisters. Sorrowful is one who loses all his wealth in bad investment. Sorrowful is one who lives in poverty, lack of basic necessity. Those people who are poor, it is sorrowful when they don't have money even for food. Bare necessities still they don't have. Like long time ago when my uncle was so poor, he told me that he has this money in his pocket. What is he going to buy? Is he going to buy rice? Or is he going to buy salt? Or is he going to buy veggie? Because he can't afford to buy both. He has enough money just to buy one. That is a lot of sorrow. Don't you think so? If you go to sleep without food. So that is sorrowful. Sorrowful is one who is afflicted with incurable diseases, like cancer nowadays. You have a lot of people who are sick with cancer. So you could imagine the amount of sorrow that they have gone through. Sorrowful is one who feels unwanted and unloved. So what is a big problem in this world now? The parents are so busy that the children feel unloved. So what do? Mix with a lot of bad habits, start smoking, drugs, unwanted babies, because they feel unloved, unwanted. That is sorrowful. Sorrowful is he who is dying and forced to be separated with everything that he treasured and loved. That is sorrowful. Of course, when it doesn't happen to us, that means nothing at all. We can't imagine what this sorrow is all about. Probably we say, I understand, yeah. Until it affects us personally, then we know what this sorrow is. It is indeed most painful. A lot of people who can't take it will just commit suicide, end their life. So in that way, they think that they end all their sorrow.